happiness is given from above, and the kind of love that we give, it's not always a smiley, giggly, feel good. I mean, it's just caring. It's really caring. And what we get is gladness of heart when you know deep down inside that you care profoundly about your fellow man. You understand the inextricable interconnectivity that we share as one species, and knowing that God is a giver of gladness of heart and happiness and contentment and all these things, and you knowing what will fulfill, that need we have to please Him, so that we can be glad and happy and content and at peace and have experienced joy and euphoria and all these things. We know we've got to please Him above all else and realize, and then we direct the attention to Him, to glorify Him, not to ourselves, because we're nobody. I mean, you think I'm not just as weak and feeble and pathetic as the next guy? All of us are. I mean, that's our fleshly, carnal nature. Yes, I've got worldly appetites like everybody else. I like nice stuff, like beautiful house. I mean, I owned a beautiful house in Vegas back in 2003. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, big yard. I was busily landscaping. I love to Google Earth it to this day and see the landscape I put in that's still surviving, and it's fun. It's just, I like material things. I get that. God gets that. But you see, not if it's an exclusive, privilege. That's what's bugging us. That's what bugs guys like Alex Jones and guys like Donald Trump. See, they stumble upon that. The difference between those guys and me is that, it took me, I still, to this day, I don't have any, financial success. And I really don't, at this point today, I don't care. I really don't. I mean, I wouldn't mind contributing more. I'm an inventor. I'm an innovator, let's say. I'm no Einstein. But I could contribute, I get good ideas all the time. It's the way my brain works. So I could contribute in that regard. But since I don't have an engineering degree, I don't have a foot in the door, it's hard for me to get my inventions out. I mean, there's all these companies that'll rip you off. Thousands of bucks they'll charge you, to try to market your idea and all this. And most of it's just a scam and fraud. Yeah, you could get on Shark Tank or this or that, but it's not easy, because you got to try, you got to be a salesman. You got to persuade an investor that, you've got this really good idea and it's feasible and all that. And, do the, risk management aspect. It's a big deal. It's a whole business plan thing. So it's not just about having good ideas, but, I don't even care. I mean, if I was rich, I'd feel like Donald Trump or Alex Jones. I mean, it's like, unless that bum can be rich too, because it's his planet too, I don't really give a crap. I mean, I'm much more interested in saving his life. We can all see the end from the beginning, and that's all I've kind of tapped into here. But I'm not proud of being poor, but I should not be ashamed, because I know I've been made poor, deliberately poor. The wealth that belongs to me is being withheld by the evildoers of this world that have stolen it through fraud, illegitimacy. That's it. They steal. They cheat, they lie, they murder, they do whatever's necessary to stay on top and stay in control. And that's why it's so imperative. And they can't allow sound money, because the whole nature of sound money is that it can't be imbalanced. You could rock it all you want. Like I said, you might have disruptions in the supply chain occasionally, but they're minor, because the trajectory will be one steady trajectory right up. Your currency just keeps going up in worth until you just don't care about money anymore. The game is revealed for what it is. It was just a big scam, a big charade to steal the wealth of the nation. That is the people of the nation. That's what a nation is. And, we just have to get what's happened here and understand the resistance to fixing problems. Because if you fix one problem, it leads to another. One thing leads to another, cause and effect. People get a taste of something good. They see their currency going up in worth over any appreciable amount of time, and they say, hey, this feels pretty good. Now I forget how bad it felt, how insecure and fearful I felt every day, and not knowing that was this perverted reverence that was being extracted from me. This pound of flesh that these evildoers that are running things and creating the policies we have to live under are doing deliberately. They're making people poor. They need poverty. They don't care if it costs society 10 times more, that it's totally fiscally imprudent. So it's not a bleeding heart versus a conservative issue. Make those guys work for their money, no welfare, and Give us more welfare. You see what I mean? This is the spirit of Satan that's done this. It's not us. We should not be at each other's throat. We should blame correctly, judge correctly, and blame the causers of these problems. It's all cause and effect. They know what they're doing. They manipulate markets, they collude, they fix prices, they rig stuff so that they ensure poverty. They steal the wealth of the nation through unsound money. Okay, this is what creates the vast majority of the crime out there. It's all related to that. Probably the vast majority of suicides out there are somehow related. People lose a loved one. I mean, how many women, they're content if the guy's making good money or has money. They like to be with the guy, but if he's not, it's like this guy's got bread, man. I'm later, dude. His heart's broken. He kills himself. I mean, there's millions of those cases probably. So money is the root of all evil, not some of it. That's not some of it, the love of money. Because if somebody, it's those money lovers that are greedy and they hoard all that money, when if we had the Keynesian principle where it was flowing, we had currency flow, okay? And if it was sound money, the game would be exposed for what it is. They don't want that either. You see, they want to manipulate and control everything. They want the poverty. You understand? They need poverty. That's the most imperative ingredient they have to keep to remain relevant and to remain in control. With the poverty comes crime. It doesn't matter that it costs the taxpayers 10 times more. The taxpayers are dumb. They're acting like the brute beasts that they have made them in the image and likeness of, like themselves. Okay, that's what we are. Understand what they've done. They've really dumbed people down. People don't understand these very simple things I'm pointing out. But it costs society tremendously more. And fathom, because it goes on in perpetuity too. It's never paid for. Just like the difference between buying a house and having it paid for it finally, except for your stupid taxes. Anybody that says we're not communist, we're very communist. If you got to pay taxes forever to this government, this eternal government, I guess, forever, then that's it. And your taxes just keep going up. So that's, your tax currency is being debased too. It's worth less all the time. But, this is the thing we've got to understand is that all the problems can be traced to money. And the love of money causes these money lovers to hoard from those that don't have. And so the non-money lovers who aren't, they're not interested in going out there and they're not money grubbing and all that. So they don't have those great aspirations to be successful and prosperous as defined by the world. They're not worldly in that sense, which we're not supposed to be as believers. This world is Satan's right now. Jesus has to come and restore all goodness and cleanse the earth of all unrighteousness. But the dubious war, understand, they can't do those. They won't be able to get those dubious wars started. And they want that. That's business. How sick is that people accept that we go and maim and kill and destabilize all these countries so that people can make a profit in the stock market, so that people can have job security, so that the prison industry is secure. We need crime and the debt industrial complex. This is the biggest one of all. And people don't, just kick the can, just keep through debased currency. This is what happens. Borrow more money, so more of your taxes just go to debt maintenance. You understand what I'm saying here? And, so of course, it's a chain reaction kind of thing. If your dollar is debased, that means lessened in worth relative to an essential human need commodity. That could be food, water, or housing. But it is, in this case, it all started with housing. Housing was the genesis for the destruction of the money. It affects all the services out there. Remember, all the services are tied to the cost of living. So it's just, we're in this very pernicious, acute economic mess that so many people don't want to face because they're doing good. They have actually gotten ahead. Their numbers have gone up sufficiently to where they're satisfied relative to the aggregate debasement of the currency. So they say, hey, my numbers, went up faster than the debasement of the currency. So they're doing fine, okay? That's good. Good for them, okay? But what about the other people? They know they can't enjoy their prosperity because they know poverty's still growing. They know we haven't turned a corner. They know that, they know that something really bad's going to happen, just like historically. I mean, you get civil war is what they're trying to foment here in America. All this divisive rhetoric, a bunch of bull. I mean, Alex Jones is doing this 28-hour special. And It's really quite a deal. He was at the DNC with a bunch of reporters, but he had this one guy. I can't remember the cop's name, but he's running for Congress. And I thought to myself, this guy's a veteran cop. He was a captain, and he's a big homeless advocate. I thought, you know what? I like this guy. I like this guy a lot because he gets it. And I think a lot of law enforcement is starting to get it. They're starting to understand that they want the problems. They don't want us free, okay? Because they would be irrelevant. We won't care. We won't pay homage to them. We won't give them their perverted form of reverence they like through instilling fear and insecurity into the populace. But anyhow, I'm going to check my notes and see if I have anything else to talk about. But